Hey guys, hey everyone, welcome to my channel Automation Patsala. Hope I know everybody will be enjoying. Today is the 31st December and the year end, so everybody will be in a party mood. Still, I thought of to share with this video which I specially kept for you guys, so that I thought of to share with the year end, because what are the journey throughout this year, what are the interview questions that is being asked to me, and what are the frequently questions that as SDET they're asking. So I thought of to share with this through this video, so that it can be helpful for you guys on the very new year whenever you are starting your journey as a giving your interviews, right? So first of all, welcome guys. So there are a lot of questions that is being asking to me whenever I was giving the interview, especially on the 6+ year of experience, guys. So if you're giving the interviews, or in case you are planning to give interviews, I always recommended, please make sure you just very good thorough knowledge on the backend side, right? Because nowadays the trend is moving in such a way that people are not especially looking for the skills on the tool side, right? Even though you have very good knowledge on let's say Cypress, Playwright, Selenium on the website or the app side, but still they are expecting a guy who is a full stack QA, right? Who can be helpful for us to, in case we hire them and deploy in any of the project, whether it's a back end, whether it's a front end, you should be able to automate the things, right? So you should have some basic understanding of the front end as well as the back end side. So guys, if you are really giving for the interviews, make sure you prepare especially on the star patterns question. I know you must be aware of the patterns, right guys? Star patterns, let's say they'll give you a situation and how you overcome that situation, and eventually that helps the productivity of the organization, right? So for example, they might ask you this kind of question, like hey, tell me a situation where you faced that, okay, this can be improved, this set of code can be improved, or this process can be improved, and developer has you know listened your words and he worked on the implementation side, and eventually that helps the overall QA process or overall process of the organization, right? So you need to come up with that kind of scenarios. There might be another questions, like on the API side they might ask you on the different type of authentication, what is OAuth 2, what is OAuth, what is JWT token, what happens if you won't pass JWT token or any OAuth token or authorization token in the APIs, what will be the response, right? And even though you're passing, then what is the need of that internally, what actually it is doing, right? How it is interacting with the services. Then they might ask you that, guys, tell me a situation like where you automated apart from basic APIs. Okay, basic APIs anybody can automate. Let's say you are having a post, get, put, delete APIs, which your day-to-day activities you are just automating that. But apart from that, tell me a backend scenarios where you really automated a specific scenarios, right? So it means, guys, he's about to ask you that apart from your APIs, have you automated something called gRPC, or have you automated something called you know logging tools? For example, have you got the data by writing simple script to fetch the data from the Kafka or from the RabbitMQ? So these kind of things he is expecting from you. So make sure, guys, if you have not worked, then just tell that I have not worked and I didn't get a chance enough to work on that. But don't bluff, right? So don't tell some silly questions, like, or silly answers, like, okay, I have written this script, I've written that script. Please don't do that, because the guy who is really asking you this question, he has really worked on the things, right? That's why he wanted to know either you have worked on the same approach, or do you have any a different mechanism. And there are a couple of other questions. For example, let us say he might ask you that, what happens, can you test the downtime period of a particular services, or if you're testing any microservices from a scratch, what will be your approach as a QA, right? Or have you tested anywhere like dependent microservices? So what happens? Any microservices depend on each other. Have you come across that kind of scenarios? And if yes, then how basically you are testing, right? So there might be some few questions related to the mock APIs, guys. Okay. So for example, let us say you are depending on a third party APIs, right? So let's say that third party API itself is down. So what happens? Eventually that will block your testing, right? In general. So what will be your approach in that case? Are you really depending on the third parties APIs and you're keep on pinging them, okay? Or you're still waiting for them to that particular services is getting up so that you can continue your testing? No, right? So mostly they are expect something like you must be telling something like mock APIs, right? You're mocking the data, mocking you, or you're creating your own mock servers. So like that kind of answers they must be expecting from you guys, right? And apart from that, there are certain scenarios where they are asking you, okay, let's say I have a API where I set some rate limit. Okay, how you are, breaking that? Or have you ever listened this word like rate limiting? If yes, then what is the status code of that? Or how will you test the rate limiting APIs, right? Or there might be questions on the log side, right? Whenever any services is getting down, instead of simply as a QA you are just reporting as a 500 or 200 or 201, or let's say any server side or any client side, let's say you're getting any 4xx, or if you're getting any 5xx, simply raising this as a bug. Instead of that, what are the other approach as a tester that you are doing, right? So either you are going and debugging in the back end, in the particular services, you are doing the SSH and checking the logs there. So if yes, then how you're checking the logs, right? Remember guys, nowadays they are expecting more on the RCA side, that as a QA what will be your approach. Instead of simply raising the bug, you should be go deeper into the RCA side and go and check the logs, right? So you should be good on the debugging side as well. So guys, remember, automation will come into picture always later, but the main focus will be on the your manual testing analytical skill, right? Your logging skill, how you're checking, how you're debugging a particular issue whenever you are facing it, right? And what is your entire project architecture? When you're explaining your project, make sure guys you explain your entire project architecture, because that will create a huge impact, right? Instead of simply I'll tell, okay, I have worked on this particular model or this particular domain, or this particular section only I used to test and report the issues. Instead of that, whenever you are explaining your project, try to explain with by giving the examples, right? Okay, let's say this is an application where sorry, the data flow is happening in the back end, how the data is pushing to DB, and eventually on how the API call is happening, how your webhook is working, and how you're getting the data in the front end after the services is getting success. So these are the few points guys. And remember, one more important questions that is being asked nowadays is in the polling side, right? Let us say your API is giving more time to response. For example, let's say it is keep on hitting until it is checking that, okay, I got the response, then I'll show the data to the user. There's something called like promises, right? So these how will you test this polling? Or in case you're automating your script, how will you write your polling script? And then what is your especially on the Ajax calls, right? How will you automate those type of scenarios? So these are the things guys, I always recommended you to work on it. If you still facing any issue, please check. There are a lot of articles are there, difference between authorization, authentication, types of authentication, types of status codes, and how will you test a particular microservice in the backend side, what is a webhook, right? So these are the things like basic difference between the polling and the webhooks we came across. So these are the things that you must be focusing before focusing on any of the tools guys, especially on the Selenium, Cypress, or Playwright. That will come into picture later. Rather, they must be focusing on the backend side first, right? So this is something that I just wanted to share with you guys. Okay, So please be prepared. If you have not, then and one more important thing, apart from any programming language, please make sure that you learn some scripting language as well, right? Let's say if you know about Java, then try to learn something on the JavaScript side as well, so that nowadays few fancy tools are trending in the market like Playwright, Cypress, so that you can easily work on this tool if you know JavaScript, right? The basic syntax. I'm not recommending that go deeper into the scripting, rather, because we have to know what are the things that from the automation side. So especially on the JavaScript side, try to learn the basic concepts so that you can able to automate a particular things, right? So yes guys, I hope this helps you a lot whenever you are preparing. I know definitely you guys must be preparing. If not, please work on your skills and make sure these are the important questions, guys. Whenever you are going for any interview, please don't go randomly, okay? And just prepare few skills, and then you just go and attend the interviews, because then only that confidence will come, guys, okay? So I hope this helped you, and I'm wishing each and everyone a very happy new year, guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, and keep coding, keep breaking. Again, once, happy new year, guys. Thank you everyone. Bye.